Please start.
Okay. So, hello students. We are here again for a live session. So, I think I have seen, yeah, some of the questions were getting typed a little late, but let me take up some of the questions that you have raised. Can you all hear me and see me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, let's get started. I have the spreadsheet here of filled by students in. Is there a guy by name Shaukat Ali here? Okay. Okay. Let me check with the people who are here already and then check if they have any questions. Yeah. I like you, Banerjee, first person in the list.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any specific question?
No, sir. I'm just attending the session and the discussion.
Okay. Jibin T. Babu, do you have any question, specific question? I think you typed something here. Let me just check. No, you also have no technical question, looks like. Where do most of the questions in the NPTEL exam come from? Is that your question, Jibin? Are you there?
I think, sir, he need to unmute his
Yeah,
microphone.
Mike. Mike. Participants can unmute their mics before talking. I can't do that, I think, from here. Right? Okay, let me come back to him later. Who is the other person? Rupa Saha Pramanik, Sashikant.
Yes,
Sashikant.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Shashik.
Sashikant, you're okay. Ready to ask some questions? Okay. Okay, one of the questions that you're asking is why there is just one primary clustering index. I get
Yes, sir.
that there is.
Sir, I mean, I understand that primary index because there is a single primary key, so there is one primary index.
Okay.
For clustering index, when we say that, I mean, for any non-key attribute, so there can be many non-key attributes.
Okay. See, okay, I can answer that, Sashant. See, I got your question.
Yeah.
See, basically, the primary index or the clustering index is built on a file on an attribute which is an ordering attribute.
Okay.
Okay, so that is something you have chosen, some attribute you have chosen, and ordered all the records
Hmm.
of on that value of that attribute. So, so there can only be one ordering for a records in the data file, right?
This, sir, actually, the confusion is that suppose if I have a situation that in accordance of my query, I have different ordering structure. Like,
No, that's fine. See, that is all right. In your query, you may want other things in the to be produced as a result.
yeah,
That's a different issue. But physical organization, this has to do with the physical organization of the records of a file. There can only be one order in which we can put the records of the file. So if that attribute on which you are ordering the records of the file happens to be a key, then you can build a primary index.
Okay.
Okay. If that is not a key, then there will be several records with the same value, but then they'll get listed one after the other in the ordering. So that's when you use a clustering index.
Okay. No, sir. I
Yeah.
mean,
Now, other things are like other indexes. If there are attributes which are not ordering attributes of the file,
mhm.
okay, then you can then you can build any number of indexes. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
So
so
it is only
my query is, can't
yeah.
we have two or three ordering, just like suppose if I want to two queries to perform where one is sorted in accordance of the names of the candidates,
Hmm.
where roll number is the primary key, and when we want to sort out the address, so particular location, I mean
Hmm.
alphabetic order location,
Okay.
that ordering. So
Okay.
that way we can have different kind of ordering. So
Hmm.
in such a scenario, can't we have a number of, I mean, more than one clustering index? Because it
Yeah.
depends on the
Yeah.
query.
Yeah. 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 You can have, provided you are duplicating the entire data in a different data file, which
Okay,
is usually you don't do that.
okay,
That's the whole thing. See, if you can copy the whole file into another file and then reorder that on some other attribute,
okay.
then you can build another primary or clustering index on that. But we are talking about one file.
Okay, sir. Actually, sir, I have
Hmm.
seen lectures for data mining and some, Google queries. Or, means, so they say that they have to, they have multiple copies of data.
Yeah, that is a different scenario. That's a different scenario. That's a warehousing scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we can have multiple clustering index.
No, they're also, they don't call them clustering indexes there. They're, dimensional indexes and other things there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. 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 So if you you don't normally, it's a huge, see, data files are generally big, and that's the reason why we are building indexes and all that. So you don't copy the whole data again into another another file and then reorder that file to be able to build a index. So
Okay.
instead what you'll do is you choose one of the keys which is the and then build a primary index,
Hmm.
and then for the other to make access fast on other attributes, you basically build secondary indexes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the sequence of file records is same. So you keep that as the constant thing. Then in the other for faster access in the other attribute, you build another index.
Okay.
Yeah, and then store that index in the metadata of this file, so that you can always figure out that that index is there, and then so you can use that and then access this.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
So,
Uh,
so there is a question that I mean, how auxiliary files in a sequential files make a difference. Suppose that there are 10 records which are getting overflow, and you put them in auxiliary file and then insert them periodically. Um,
uh-huh.
but I mean, whether you insert them periodically or on the on the go, I mean, number of disks will be same. I mean, I was not getting why it's different. If
Okay, 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 okay. So you see, we are talking about not only just no sequential files. We are talking about the possibility of having multi-level indexes for those sequential files.
Okay,
See, usually a sequential file, you can choose construct a primary index. Since the primary index itself is an ordered file, then you will construct another second level index for it and third level index if necessary.
okay,
Okay, then you basically turned it into a multi-level index.
okay,
So once you have a multi-level index, if you insert a new record into that, then the position, based on the index, it will go and sit in a specific position, and because it is sitting at that position, other records in that block get pushed down.
yeah,
And so the not only the first level index, probably the second level index, third level index will have to be modified. So which is a lot of work. So which we don't want to do. We don't, for every insertion we don't want to do that much of work to adjust the index. So what we do is to keep all these records into an auxiliary file,
Okay.
so that when a query comes, you can search in the auxiliary file in a normal way, quickly.
Okay.
And then if that fails, then go to the main thing and then do the index based search.
So
And
you mean to say, sir, the I mean, we used to make the query to the auxiliary index. I mean, auxiliary file.
yeah, you
We
can
don't
see.
update it to main database file.
Yeah, you don't update the main sequential file
Okay.
through these insertions, because it basically disturbs the indexes. That's the problem.
Okay.
It disturbs all the indexes. That is the advantage with B plus tree compared to this approach. In B plus tree, you can directly insert, and
Okay.
then the structure gets adjusted.
Okay.
Whereas here, since you built a sequential file first and then a multi-level index,
Yeah.
all the indexes might get affected. So that's why you don't do that.
Yeah, sir. Actually, sir, I was thinking like we update the database like whether I mean I was taking it as like we
Mm.
update the database on the go and then or otherwise on the auxiliary mode. But as you said that we don't update it, we make the queries through the auxiliary file and
Yeah.
we update it periodically. So that way we can have
Yeah. Better, basically
better
for
management.
better performance. Yeah.
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 So
Mm.
there is one more question. I mean, if you can explain the linear hashing with bucket splitting with an example. I mean, it's
Uh-huh.
preferable if it's preferable that if you can explain the week 9 assignment 9 question, uh, 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 assignment 9 question 8.
Mhm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Um, you can hold on for a moment. I will take other people's
Okay,
questions
sure,
and
sure,
then probably come back to you.
sure, sure, sir.
Yeah. Let us see. Uh, yeah. I think one guy. Yeah. Shaukat Ali, are you there now?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were asking few questions. Okay. I can see that in your form you have entered 4 questions. Looks like. Okay.
Yes, sir.
X is okay. Let me read out that question. X is a composite attribute of an entity type and has 3 components: C1, C2, C3. This is from one of our assignments, is it? Yeah, I think so. C1, C2 are multi-valued, and if the domain sets of C1, C2, and C3 are 2, 3, 5, okay, what is the size of the domain of X? Okay, see, since they are multi-valued, C1, C2 are multi-valued, that means they take sets of values as their value, right? For example, if you have a underlying domain set is 2 elements, C1 for example has an underlying domain of 2 elements, and since it's multi-valued, it can take any of these 2 to the power of 2 4 possible values. Okay, so it can be an empty, or it can be just a b, or a b both, like that, power set of 2. You get the
Yes.
so that is the values that the C1 can take. In a similar way, C2 can take 2 to the 3, 2 cube, 8 uh, different values, right? So that's why you get the answer. You know the answer for that?
Yes, sir, I've cleared this stuff.
Hmm?
I've cleared, sir.
40, huh? No, no. What is that answer? 8,
Uh,
10, 4,
160. 160.
32 times 5. 32 times 5. 160.
Yeah, 160.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you got the, you know how to calculate now like this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is basically if it is multi-valued, then it you have to consider its power set, because that is the set of all possible values it can take. And then, of course, since there are three independent things, you will take a cross product. Okay. Any
Okay.
further doubt on that?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the other question is actually pretty simple. Let's see. Maximum number of keys in a node is 5. Okay. If the number of keys in a node is 5, then what is the order of the what is the order of the node? So you should know what is an internal order, right? For a B plus tree, internal order, internal node, order of an internal node. There are two things, right? Order of internal node, order of a leaf node.
Yes.
Order of internal node is one more than the number of keys. So it's going to be 6 here. So there are 6 children for a node, and the minimum number of keys in an internal node, which is not a root, is there in my slides. So uh, it is the ceiling of m by 2. M is an internal uh, order of internal node. Okay. So the B plus tree has to keep a minimum of m by 2 and a maximum of m children.
Yes.
Yeah. So m by 2 becomes 3 in this case, right? So that's why it is like that. Okay. Is that clear? Can you switch on your video? I can see you probably. Which place are you from?
Yes, sir.
Which place are you from, Shaukat Ali? Which city? Which town?
I'm from Bihar, sir.
Bihar. Okay. Can you switch on your camera?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rishikant, what about your camera today?
Sir, actually, the camera is quite blurred. So, I mean, I tried.
I can see this boy now. Hi, Shaukat. You can see
Yes.
my. You have a very bright light behind you, so
Wait, sir.
no problem. Yeah. Okay. Then,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Then, who else is asking questions? Okay, essentially, the only two of you are asking questions. Then other people are listening. Then I will take one of the other questions and come back to you. One second. Yeah. So Shashikant, you want the explanation of linear hashing with bucket splitting?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you can explain week 9 question,
Week
week 9,
nine.
assignment 9, question 8.
Yeah, there I think that takes a little bit longer time, um, because you have to draw a diagram and all that. So, but this process, an example has already been given in my slides. Um so
Sir,
essentially,
I've seen the lecture, sir, but it was not much clear to me. So that's why I asked.
uh-huh. Okay. Anyway, you rework, try to rework that.
Okay.
So essentially, by using this, either of the two hash functions,
Okay.
you keep inserting into the data records. And the main thing that you have to remember here in linear hashing is that if there is a overflow, you simply create an overflow bucket and then insert the data record there
Okay.
into the same thing. Okay, and the moment there is any overflow occurs in any of the data buckets, you will start splitting the first bucket in the entire file. Okay,
Okay.
and then next bucket, like that, in a linear fashion you go.
Okay.
That is the thing. See, for example, actually I have worked it out here. When the when the question was set itself, we had worked it out. I can show that thing, but I don't know whether you can see that. Let me see. Mm, so okay, it's also in pencil actually. I don't think you'll be able to see this. Can you see this?
So it's much clear actually. Um,
Yeah, see, this is how we worked it out. After you insert, this is what happens and all that.
okay.
So see, yeah. So when you finally first split up, so you get three data buckets
Okay.
like this. Okay. You basically work it out. It's not very difficult actually. You just follow that example.
Okay.
Yeah, it will come.
So there is another request. I mean, if you can provide detailed solutions for, I mean, few assignments like from week 8 onwards, because
Yeah, actually, that is a little too late now. Let me, think about it. The forum was always there, but if you had asked for explanations in the forum, my TAs would have helped you. I
okay.
have a set of, TAs who are looking at the forum.
No, so they are active actually. I mean, there is no
Mm.
doubt about that. But just I wanted to match my solutions with those provided for the
Uh,
standard solutions provided for the
mhm.
faculty. That's why. Yeah.
Anyway, for those specific questions for which you had got it wrong, maybe you can post it in the forum and then you get the clarifications from my. I have three TAs who are helping
Okay.
on that.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, please do that. Okay. Now,
I have a question.
who is speaking?
This is Rupa Shah.
Rupa Saha Paramik.
Yes,
Pramanik, sorry.
yes.
Sorry. Where are
Sir,
you from, Miss
I'm
Rupa?
from Kolkata.
Kolkata. Very good. Tell me.
Sir, could you please explain once more undo logging?
Undo logging.
Yes, sir. Redo
Oh,
logging, undo logging.
undo logging. Okay. Okay, I will probably take it up a little later because I'll have to pull out that slides and then you instead you can ask me any specific question that you have in that slides. Then I will
Okay,
be able to clarify.
okay, sir.
You do one thing. You be online. I will be answering Shaukat Ali's questions. In the meantime, you can look at the slides and then see where you have not understood. Okay, then I can try and explain that. Yeah. And then let me take up another question from Shaukat Ali. Okay, your third question was a data file of records that contains 1 million records, a B plus tree. Index is available on a candidate key attribute key, and the order of the internal node is 100. Yeah. So, what is your specific question here, Shaukat? Are you there? Yeah, yeah. You're there, right? So, where did you not understand? What is it that you have not understood in this question, please? In your, you asked on four questions. So, in the
Yes,
third question, what is it? Why did you get stuck? I want to understand that first.
because I'm not understand what the say the questions.
You didn't understand the question itself, or what?
Yes, yes.
No, the question is asking if the B plus tree is built like that with these values, then how many number of block pointers, block accesses you have to get, you will have to make in order to get a pointer to the record with value some given x. So basically, you will search in the root node, okay, and then you go. You basically in B plus tree you always go up to the leaf node in order to get the record to I mean pointer to a record, right? Data record. Data records, pointers to data records are stored only at the leaf node in B plus tree. So anyway, you have to go to the uh, leaves. So how many number of block accesses you need in order to go to a leaf here? So you think about it first. Can you do that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're in a noisy place, looks like.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, just think about it. So this your fourth question, where you're asking about external sorting, was this question in one of the assignments?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But that is just a substitution in a formula actually, right? You have a formula for calculating the number of block accesses required for external sorting. I have explained that into 2 3 slides also over the whole process. Um, I can show that to you if you want. Let me share my screen to you so that I can show that slide to you. Can you see the slide?
It's visible.
Yes.
Hmm? Okay, can you see the slide? Shaukat Ali and others also.
Yes, sir. It's visible to us.
Okay. So, is there any part that you? This is a little involved process. I can, you know, explain how you have got this formula. But if you understand this formula, you can, just substitute all the values and you can get the answer. I want to know whether you understood the formula here. I mean, how we got that 2n plus 2n times log r to the base d overall block accesses. Um, So, okay, for the benefit of all the people here, let me explain that again. Um, so, uh, so there are two phases for this, right? One is called the sort phase. The other one is called the merge phase. So in this sort phase, you basically read the entire file, m blocks at a time, and sort it in memory, and then write that sorted file, which is called a run, back to the disk. So since you can only read m blocks at a time, you will have to read the file. You will basically create n by m number of such sorted small files. Okay, is that clear? So you will have to read the whole file and then write it back. So that's why you take 2n number of block accesses for doing this sort phase. So basically what you're doing here is that the entire data file is being converted into a number of small sorted files. Okay, is that clear? I want some feedback, otherwise I don't know what.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so those things are called runs. Okay, so those things are called runs, and you have n by m, where n is the number of blocks, m is the buffer blocks, n by m such runs will be there, and you take all those runs, and then you do this. Suppose you take d of these runs and then do a merge, like this you'll get. Then d plus 1 to 2d, that next d number of runs, and then you merge them like this. So you get now, if you start with some j number of runs, you will now get j by d number of bigger runs. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's why. Uh, so now every time you do this process, the number of runs is getting reduced by a factor of d. That means it's number of runs. If it is 100 to start with and d is 10, then it's becoming 10.
Okay.
And then if you take these 10 things and now merge them, it will become divided by 10. So one whole thing, one run it will come. That means the whole file is now sorted.
Okay.
Right, like that. So the number of times you have to divide this is basically log of the number of runs to the base d.
Okay.
Log of the number of runs to the
That's
base d. So each time, of course, you have to read the entire file, and then essentially indirectly you're reading the entire file and writing it back to the disk, because that's how runs are created, right?
yes.
That's why you will have to multiply it by 2n. So that's why this 2n log r to the base d will come, and then you take the overall. This is for the sort phase, and this is for the merge phase. So you can see the pointer.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how you get the formula. So if you substitute all those values in the formula, you'll get the answer.
Okay. Here.
Good. Okay. Then any other questions by? Okay, there is one. Yeah. So B plus T question you have understood now. I want to know where you are getting down. Chokatal again. Sashikant, you understood that question?
No, sir. Actually, this query was from Shaukat, and
Yeah, no, you try to solve it now. What is
Yes,
going
sir. I
on?
have understood, sir.
I got your explanation though.
Hmm. Okay, see, okay, now that you have thought about it a little while, so basically, how many levels will be there in this particular B plus T? You can figure it out. No, there are a million records to start with. That means 10 power 6.
Yes, sir. 10 plus 6.
Yeah, so you divide it by 100. So million records. So 10 power 4 will be the next level records, like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So with actually 100 to the power 3 is 10 power 6, right? So if you have menial records, record pointers, then divided by 100, you'll get that many number of you know one layer above the leaf level.
Internal node.
Yeah,
Just
internal node. Divide by 100, again you'll get one more layer. So if you divide it 3 times like that, you'll get the root node.
okay.
So yeah, so it is essentially 3 block accesses. If you do, you get the you go to the leaf level. Four levels will be there, but you need to make 3 accesses. Three, yeah. Okay, so and then Rupa was asking a question. Rupa Saha, Pramani.
Yes, sir. Sir, that is recovery using undo redo logs. And that example which are given using that undo logging, it was a big
Okay.
example where we had that transaction T1
Yeah,
and T2. It
right.
was committed. A big table was there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right, right. So, yeah. So you were talking about which one? Undo, redo logging, or which one? Undo logging. Which one you had doubt
Sir,
in?
undo logging.
Undo logging. So let me try and see that slides here.
Can I explain this one?
Hmm? I'll try to pull up that slide. One second. I'll have to stop sharing the previous thing before I can share this new one. Okay, so is this the one you're asking questions about?
Yes, sir.
See, okay, in undo logging, basically, update record, log record will be old values. The transaction has changed an item and its old value is this. Okay, you don't keep track of the new values, you'll only keep track of the old values whenever update happens. And the rules are like this, right? If the transaction modifies the item, then the log record must be returned to the disk before the new value is actually written to the disk. So that means log record has to be first written to the permanent store, and only then you will update the item X in the database. Okay, that is the only rule. The other rule is if the transaction is asking for committing, then the commit log record can only be written after all these database items that have been changed are actually written to the disk. Okay, so that means the material will flow like this, right? So for all the database items that have been modified, you first send this update log record to the disk, and then write the item to the disk, okay, and then only write commit T. So that is the crux, the undo logging method. So you can revisit that video if you want. So this is the example I have used in order to explain how recovery actually happens. Okay, so basically so this one is, we are actually trying to transfer some 100 rupees from account A to account B, right? So can you follow this thing, the slide? Can just read the slide
Sir,
once.
can you please tell me once more that what is flush log?
Okay. Flush log means basically, the log itself is maintained in the memory of the computer, right? So when the flush log command is given, then that portion of the log is actually written to the disk. Okay, that's what is called flush log operation. See, log file also is a file. So some entries are there, but it's a sequential file. So these records will be in the memory. Okay, so when you give a flush log command, then buffer manager will transfer that part of the file to the disk. Okay.
Only a portion.
Yeah, only then it will transfer to the disk. So in this case, see, for example, since we are doing undo logging, the modifications have been done and then the log records are available in the memory. So before we start updating the database in, say, steps 9 and 10, we're doing a flush log. So this will ensure that all the log records corresponding to the changes that we are going to do to the database are now available on the disk. Okay.
Okay.
Then we will go about actually changing the items. And then after doing all that, we will write a commit T record and then ensure that the commit T record also goes to the log on the disk. Okay. So that's how we do the follow the undo logging protocol, so to say. So with that, now if you try to understand, I hope you will be able to understand these things. So basically, for those transactions for which the commit T log record is already present, you don't have to do anything. You just have to ignore it, because commit T was written after the database was been successfully modified. So there's nothing that you need to do. Everything is fine. If it is incomplete, that means the commit T log record is not seen, then it is possible, that, for example, a flush log was done, and while it is outputting A and B, power went off, and then a commit T log record was not written. Okay, so that means we don't know whether these, for example, steps 9 and 10 have been already taken or not. We don't know, right? So since we don't know, what we do is we simply abort this transaction and restore the old values from the log. Okay, we restore the old values from the log, restore value X on the disk for V, like that, and then resubmit that transaction. Okay, so
Yes.
I hope with that re-explanation you will be able to understand it better. Right out.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So let me stop sharing that. Okay. Then any other questions are there? Let me see. Okay, this question is coming up again. One student by name Yashaswini. Yeah, Yashaswini, she is here, I think. Last time also she was there. Yashashwini, are you there?
She's not there because there's
Yeah.
7 participants, including you.
Sorry.
So there are only participants, including you, so she's not there.
Who is speaking? Shashikant. Okay. I think I have explained this in the last session actually. This question.
Sir, I have a query. The exam is on Saturday. I have not yet received my admit card. Will I receive by before Saturday?
That only Balaji and NPTEL people can answer that question. I don't
Okay.
control. I mean, I don't. I don't know their time schedules and all that. Typically, you will receive it in a few days time. Just few days before the exam. Yeah, you will receive definitely. Yeah.
So this is the last session, right?
Yeah, I don't see much point holding any more sessions because the exam is on Saturday. Hmm. If people want, I mean, I could consider. But even now, only few people are asking questions. So, yeah. Okay. So, there's one guy who joined just now, Arjun B. Okay. Suresh, you are there.
Sir,
Oh, okay. So, Balaji, let us see whether we can wait for one person who has asked the question, but she is not around right now. Can wait for a few minutes for. Okay. Let us do some general discussion then.
So I mean, at IIT Madras, is still the online courses are happening, or in-person classes started?
Oh, is Shashikant, you're. Oh no, here we have started in-person classes. Yeah, so some of them have. Some of us have started in. Actually, we started doing hybrid kind of classes. So,
Okay.
so some people are sitting in the class, and for example, I am doing WebEx based uh,
Okay.
for those people who are online. Okay, so let's see. So you introduced yourself last time, right, Shashikant?
Yes, sir.
You're from which city? Which city?
Lucknow, sir.
Lucknow. Okay. Okay. Mm. And you are working.
No, sir, I'm not working. Actually, I'm actually preparing for GATE examination and for master's, sir.
Okay. And then doing some online courses.
Yes, sir. So there is a data science micro from MIT, which is actually a credit eligible course for their PhD program in data science. And there are some other courses related to programming.
Yeah, you told me I think last time also.
Yeah.
There are a lot of courses which you are trying, I think, right?
Yes.
Good. Now, because of the possibility of online courses, the learning opportunities have really become.
So the important thing is that we have these opportunities to to interact with people like you. I mean, so distant professors. So that's I find that is really pretty unique because
Oh, the
before
live sessions are going to be. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Rupa Saha, Pramanik, you are from Calcutta, is it?
Yes, sir. I'm from Kolkata.
Okay. You are also working or
Yes, sir. I'm working as an assistant professor in an engineering college.
Oh, I see. Oh, very good. So, what is your motivation for doing this course then?
Actually, I've been teaching my students this subject since long time, but some topics which were never we have discussed. So that's why I wanted to learn this
Very good.
once more.
Yeah. No, I'm particularly happy if teachers join this course because they will teach a number of other students.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good. I hope you have understood most of the material that I covered.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. Which engineering college you said?
Sir, that is a private engineering college, Narula Institute of Technology.
I see. Very good. Okay. So Arjun, do you want to introduce yourself? Yes, somebody is there by name Arjun, but we don't know. Good. Balaji? NPTEL? We can possibly close the session because there is no further specific questions by these people. Suresh?
Yes, sir.
So, do you have Balaji's number? Or do we have to call him or we close the session ourselves?
Let me check, sir. Yes, sir. I have a number. So should I call Balaji or ask?
Yeah, I just asked him. I mean,
okay.
I think he has started some YouTube session also. I
Okay,
don't know
sir.
if he has to stop the recording there.
I'll call him.
Yeah, thanks. So all the best for the exam. I don't know how many people have registered for the exam. I forgot to get the final figure.
I have registered for examination.
I forgot to get the final figure from the. Yeah. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Only you have, Kant, you have the only person who have probably registered for the exam now in this audience.
I have registered for examination.
Sir, Balaji is not picking up, so maybe we can end this session here. So
Okay.
can you do that?
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
Okay. Goodbye, all of you. Best wishes.
Thank you, sir.
Shashikant, Rupa, and Arjun.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Yeah. Bye bye. Take care. I'm closing the meeting. Yeah. Thank you.